We are 5 days away from the New Orleans Saints preseason getting underway. So if you are pumped up to see all of the rookies take the field for the first time in the black and gold, I need you to do me one favor, and that's hit the thumbs up icon and like today's video. If any of the rookies watch this video, I want them to see that the Who Dat Nation is supporting every single one of them. Today's AM video, we are going to have a video later this afternoon, so be sure to subscribe and hit the noti bell. We're going to be discussing 5 rookies who I think have stood out at training camp so far. Obviously, there's still a lot of practice to be had. We have the entire preseason that we have to get through, but I do want to just give some love to some rookies that are showing out and may have a really good chance of making the roster. So let's start off with quarterback Spencer Rattler. I think he is the most fun person to talk about this offseason. And I do also want to give him a lot of credit because at rookie minicamp and at mandatory minicamp, he showed flashes, but Dennis Allen said that he needed to see a little bit more. And that's exactly what he's gotten. He has been able to show the ability of making throws at all 3 levels on the field, whether it's short, intermediate, or a deep ball. He's showing accuracy, he's showing nice ball placement, and he is connecting with his receivers. And on top of that, his workload has increased as training camp has progressed. At the beginning of training camp, he didn't get a lot of reps, but towards the end, or more recently, at day 8, 9, and 10, he started to get a lot more. In his first few days of practice, he only had 3, 5 passes, 9 passes here, 3 passes here and there. But then at the end of the day, more recently, he's been getting 10 reps, 11 reps, 17 reps. So his workload has increased, which to me means that the New Orleans Saints coaching staff is liking what they're seeing. And on top of that, the estimated stats at training camp, got to give credit to Ross Jackson and John Hendricks. I pulled these numbers from their blogs about Saints training camp over at Sports Illustrated, Saints News Network. They do a wonderful job. He is around 51 for 76, 8 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. So right now, Spencer Rattler is wheeling and dealing. And I just got to say, I'm really excited to see the QB2 battle go on throughout the preseason because I think Spencer Rattler, I've talked about him a lot. I think he's going to be a really exciting player. There's so much upside, and as long as he can continue to develop and show his growth, I believe that the New Orleans Saints have an excellent player and a massive steal in the 2024 draft. But don't sleep on Jake Haener. Jake the Snake is a pretty damn good quarterback. He can sling the pill. And I even went back and rewatched some of his preseason highlights last year. And I just got to say, there were mistakes, but the way that he bounced back and the way that he was able to manage the game, it was impressive for a rookie. And bear in mind, that was in the preseason last year. So he's had an entire year to develop and grow and become a better quarterback. So I do think that this is going to be an interesting battle to watch. I do not think that Spencer Rattler is the lead guy. I do not think Jake Haener is the lead guy. I really think it's just kind of QB2A and QB2B, if that makes some sense. They're still trying to figure out who actually has the edge. But I will say this. Update around Jake Haener. Spencer Rattler will get more run today at practice. Again, we're going to give you updates later because Jake Haener has a procedure for a skin cancer, a cancer issue that it's not an issue. He's not going to keep him off the field or anything, but he was diagnosed with cancer, so he is getting a procedure done today. Earlier reports from late last week were that he should be expected to be back as early as Wednesday. So, just want to take a quick second, show some love to Jake Haener and wish him luck with his procedure. Hope everything goes well, and we hope to see you back on the field, Jake. And really quick, another reminder to subscribe to the channel. We're going to be giving you a video later today around the training camp news from day 11 as there's going to be injury updates. We got to see how Spencer Rattler's playing. Got to see how this defense continues to play. And the biggest storyline of all is the offensive line. I want to see how they continue to grow. So we got a lot coming at you later. Be sure to subscribe and hit the noti bell. Speaking of offensive line, I do want to talk about a bright spot here, and that is Taliese Fuaga, the first-round pick by the New Orleans Saints in this 2024 NFL Draft. And throughout the offseason, he has been transitioning where he was a right tackle in college for Oregon State to a left tackle now for the New Orleans Saints. And to be honest, if you go and watch the clips that are on social media, you can see that he's getting a lot of quality reps against some of the top pass rushers on the Saints defensive line. That includes Carl Granderson, who led the team in sacks last year. That also includes some really nice reps against Chase Young. And I want to point out one specific video where Chase Young was going up against Taliese Fuaga, and he beat him on the rep, but Fuaga did an excellent job of dropping back and recovering and picking up the block once again. And I just got to say, when a Pro Bowl caliber center, and I mean, let's call it a spade, Eric McCoy was in the Pro Bowl last year. When you're getting this kind of praise, that he is the best rookie offensive lineman that he has ever seen, that's got to mean something. That's got to say something, because Taliese Fuaga, there's, I don't want to say pressure on him, but somebody has to be good on this offensive line. And I would be lying to you if I said I wasn't worried. I am very nervous about this offensive line. That being said, when you have really nice reports and you have a rookie that you know for a fact is going to be solid, I don't want to say he is, but all the things right now are suggesting that he's going to be good. That, at least to me, is okay. I can take a little breath. I can take a quick step back and kind of at least find a little bit of comfort in one player. Now, obviously, there's a lot of other positions on the offensive line, and Taliese Fuaga cannot play all 5 spots at one singular time. But it is nice to see that the first-round pick is showing why he's a first-round pick and why the New Orleans Saints invested him at 14 overall. Now, we talked about the offensive line, and I want to ask you this question. How confident are you in the O-line? Scale it for me 1 to 10. If it's a 1, you have no confidence. You're terrified. This O-line might give up 200 sacks this year. If it's a 10, no worries. Hakuna Matata. I mean, I'm sitting somewhere around a 5, 5.5, maybe a 4, I could even be convinced, because I'm pretty nervous about it. But I'm also like, you know what? There's still plenty of time to develop. There's still plenty of time to get this thing figured out. So I want you to be honest with me. Get down in the comment section. Now let's talk about an undrafted free agent in Mason Tipton, the wide receiver out of Yale. He has been very, very impressive, and I would argue that he might be the most impressive UDFA at training camp. Nothing against Dallin Holker, but Mason Tipton has really turned things up a notch. Now, he has been showing that he's a great route runner. He has very reliable hands. And to be honest, it feels like every single practice we're seeing reports of Mason Tipton making some sort of crazy play. Now, I will also give credit to him. He's been running with the first team, and he's been getting special teams reps. And it's just showing the versatility and the ability to, or the willingness, to want to be on the field and make plays and be a contributor. And I know that the New Orleans Saints coaching staff is going to value that a lot. And for me personally, again, it's nothing against Dallin Holker. It's just that Mason Tipton has been so good. I just think that he has an opportunity to make the depth, or to make the wide receiver group, and I think that he could be a reliable player. And one thing I love about Tipton is how good his connection is with quarterback Spencer Rattler. And that's, something that we can talk about in the long term, down the road. But for right now, I just love what Mason Tipton has been doing. And with the current state of the wide receiver group, I really like Chris Olave. We all know what he can do. Rashid Shaheed, he's a great player as well. A.T. Perry, we got to see a little bit more from him at camp. But I will say this was kind of the same thing that happened last year. He didn't really turn it on until the preseason started, and the lights were actually bright. Now, Cedric Wilson, I think that he's doing a good job of kind of getting used to the new team, kind of building the chemistry and being a contributor. But we do know that Equanimous St. Brown and Bub Means are dealing with injuries. A new addition, Marquez Callaway, I actually think has a chance to make the roster depending on how some of these injuries shake out. But I think that Mason Tipton could easily make the roster, especially with the new kickoff rule. I think he has a spot on the 53-man depth chart, so we will have to see what happens. Now, I got a couple more names coming at you here in just a second, but I got to give a big-time shout-out to Game Time. Now, Game Time is my favorite ticketing app, and I'm somebody who loves finding a good deal, but I also love spending money on making new memories. So if you want to spend some money and you want to save some money, you can get $20 off if you use our promo code CHATSPORTS. Terms do apply, but if you download the Game Time app and use our code CHATSPORTS, you can get $20 off your first purchase. Now, you can get tickets to any of the Saints games. You can get tickets to LSU games this far in advance. And heck, you can even see the view from your seat. You can get flash deals. You can get all sorts of cool promos. And on top of that, it's not just limited to football. You can also get tickets to the MLB if you're not out in New Orleans. If you want to go catch any of your favorite sports teams, college programs, play in any live event, I encourage you to check out the Game Time app because I know for a fact they got tickets for you. And on top of that, you can even get tickets to concerts and comedy shows and all sorts of other stuff. New Orleans is a city that always has live events going on. So don't miss out and save $20 when you make your first purchase after you download the Game Time app and use code CHATSPORTS. One more time, terms apply. Create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS. That's code CHATSPORTS to get $20 off your first purchase. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. All right, let's talk about cornerback Kool-Aid McKinstry, the Saints' second-round pick that they traded up to go and get. And I just got to say, it is a blessing to have this much quality depth at the cornerback position. Now, defensive coordinator Joe Woods, he also agrees with me. I mean, he says right now that the New Orleans Saints have 4 starting cornerbacks in Marshon Lattimore, Paulson Adebo, Alontae Taylor, and Kool-Aid McKinstry. Now, there is this note. Marshon Lattimore is dealing with the hip flexor injury. He is at practice. He's just not participating as of the most recent reports. Again, things could change later on today, so we'll get you guys that information in our afternoon video. But with the fact that Marshon Lattimore is dealing with an injury, Kool-Aid McKinstry has been able to get a lot of work and a lot of run, and he's been working with the first team quite a bit. And it's not just been on the outside. He's even gotten some work on the third team at the slot position behind Ugo Amadi and Alontae Taylor. Now, here's one, or not Ugo Amadi, Will Harris, excuse me. So Paulson Adebo, one of the top cornerbacks in the NFL, argue with the brick wall. He said this about Kool-Aid McKinstry, and I think it's very telling about the rookie. I like Kool-Aid a lot. You know, when I was 5 years old, I said the same thing. He's a big physical cornerback. He's got speed to him as well. So he fits the mold of what we have been doing here with me, Tay, that's Alontae Taylor, and Marshon Lattimore, obviously. I feel like he fits right in with what we're trying to do. And to be honest, I'm excited and I'm interested to see how the cornerback room shakes out over the course of this season and then in the future, because Paulson Adebo is coming up. He is in a contract year, so depending on whether or not he outplays what the Saints can afford to pay him, we may see Paulson Adebo leave. Who knows what will happen with Marshon Lattimore? Could a trade go down? I don't think so, but maybe it could. And then on top of that, the development of Alontae Taylor, I'm really interested to see how he continues to grow, because this offseason he has really taken massive steps, especially at training camp in the past couple of weeks. I'm really excited to see what this cornerback group can do this year, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we can keep things rolling in the future with these 4 guys. Now, let's go to some special teams, special players, special plays. Charlie Smith, the kicker, he's been a standout player for me, and I'm going to be honest, it's not because he's been like just clearly the leader in the kicker battle. But I will say this, he's been showing promise. Like he hasn't lost the kicker battle whatsoever. Like this is still a very open competition. And the estimated stats for Charlie Smith throughout training camp so far, he's been 30 of 37. Now, there is proof in the pudding. He has a massive leg, and that is something that the New Orleans Saints coaching staff knew when they signed him. And we're seeing him kick field goals as far as 62 yards with even more space to go. Like, I mean, the fact that he is nailing 62 yards of practice and kick field goals is unbelievable. But there is this one thing. He's struggling with consistency, and he's missing field goals. He's missing extra points. Like, he's not consistently hitting all of his shots. Like, he'll have some crazy kicks. He'll have some really nice reps, but then he'll miss the extra points. And that's something you just can't have when you're trying to make the 53-man roster in the National Football League. So we'll see how things shape out with this kicker battle. Again, it's still wide open. Blake Grupe is around 33 of 38, I believe, in terms of his estimated stats. So we'll see how things continue to go. I'm going to be honest, I don't know who has the edge right now. So I want you to sound off in the comments section, get active, and voice your opinions. Who's a rookie that you have been impressed with thus far throughout training camp. One more reminder, we got an AM video right now. We got a PM video coming at you later around training camp news, updates, and all sorts of stuff that you need to know. So don't forget to subscribe. Y'all stay golden. We'll see you next time.